What's up? Today, I've got three R's for you. First is reopening, the next is refinancing, and the third is restaurants, all having to do with New York City real estate. So, first thing let's talk about is rates. Refinancing rates are very low. You can get it very close to a 3% rate for refinancing. Chase has some of the best refinancing rates right now. If you need somebody to let me know, I will put you in touch with the guy that I'm talking to. So that is good. Purchase rates and refinance rates are different. Purchase rates are even lower than the refinancing rates almost always. And those rates can be under 3% right now for most types of loans, most types of mortgages. So know about that. The next thing is restaurants. So I was reading CoStar about a survey they did for restaurants in New York City, and 70% of them expect that they will not be able to operate under a 50% capacity rule that everyone is expecting to be in place when restaurants are allowed to reopen, which will be probably sometime in the next, I would imagine in the fall, in the coming months. So that is interesting implications for commercial real estate on the retail side. So ground levels, expect to see a greater number of vacancies this fall and towards the end of this year on the retail side of things. Finally, let's talk about the reopening, which this all has to do with. So reopening, certain parts of New York State have been allowed to reopen. New York City is not one of those yet. And I'm going to just show you the article in CoStar that I have been looking at. So this is 5 of New York, it's 10 regions, kick off first step of reopening, including construction. And Governor Cuomo announced Central New York, North Country, Finger Lakes, Southern Tier, and Mohawk Valley regions had met all 7 metrics required for them to start the first phase of the state's reopening plan, which is to resume construction and retail pickup service. Those 5 regions are mainly in the more rural, northern, and central parts of the state. The state's remaining 5 regions of New York City, Long Island, Western New York, and the Capital Region and the Mid-Hudson Valley will remain under restrictions mandated by Cuomo's New York on Pause mandate. The governor extended that order until May 28th for all regions that didn't reopen on Friday. But when a region like New York City, the Big Apple, meets all 7 necessary reopening benchmarks, it may immediately begin the first stage of economic restoration, according to Cuomo. Okay, what does that mean? That means that basically, let's call it June 1st, there's a very good chance that if New York City reaches the criteria, meets the criteria that have been set out, then they will begin a phased reopening. That means the first phase, which will be construction and retail, will be from June 1st to June 15th. And then the second phase will be real estate. Real estate showings should then commence. So that means that buyers, sellers, renters, all that stuff will be allowed to happen in some way, shape, or form. If you want more information on what that means, there's all kinds of difficulties on that. You can watch the video that I'll link to the end of this video for more details on some of the difficulties and hurdles in a place like New York City for that. But so that gives us a rough timeline, which is earliest we're looking at is June 15th for the reopening of real estate. And if that took an extra couple of weeks, I wouldn't be surprised. But so we can expect to resume showings and some normalcy to the real estate industry in New York City between June 15th and July 1st. So if you are a buyer or a seller, get ready. I am starting to prep my sellers on and landlords on what they need to be thinking about, what we need to get lined up to get ready to go, so that once the market does open back up, we are able to take advantage of it. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoy. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay distant, do some meditation, whatever you got to do. Okay? Talk to you later.